To this story now, Lillian Ngoyi Street, formerly Bree Street, is finally open to the public. The busy inner city street was closed for over 2 years following an underground gas explosion, resulting in extensive damage and a loss of life. For more on this, we speak to SABC News reporter Mbalenhle Mthethwa. Good afternoon, Mbalenhle. You were covering the official opening today. We played a bit of the natural sound from a bit earlier on. Jubilation all round. Just share with us the atmosphere today when it was officially opened.
Certainly, we heard cheers all around. At one point, I was preparing for our morning live crossing, and just seconds after I turned my back from the traffic, I saw traffic moving and flowing through the street. It was a very beautiful moments that we captured on camera, with the sounds of the taxi drivers hooting, as well as, you know, pedestrians on the sidewalks also cheering and ululating. It was a beautiful moment that was celebrated by those who were happy to see the road being reopened after waiting for a period of 2 years. Obviously, they have had to face a number of constraints, and this, I mean, we know that the works on the street did somewhat restrict their movement and did affect traffic for a very long time. One of the commuters that we spoke to said they had to use very dangerous roads, and they've welcomed the reopening of this particular road, saying that it will be a lot safer to move around the inner city. However, taxi drivers have also weighed in, saying that they are happy that the road is open. However, they're just worried that the traffic congestion will not be, the challenge with traffic in the inner city will not be addressed by the lanes. You'll remember that the lanes have been reduced from 4 lanes to just 3 lanes. And they are just concerned that that will also just have a long-term effect on the traffic.
And we got reasoning around why exactly they reduced it, because it seemed as though they wanted a functional type of a road that allows for greater movement for pedestrians. Just remind us of what was stated around this new outlook on how pedestrians as well as motor cars would move around in that street.
You remember that there was an official launch that was held by the city of Johannesburg, with Mayor Dada Morero leading that event on the 1st of September. And he also explained, together with the JRA CEO, that what they're looking for is to create an environment that is both pleasant for both motorists and pedestrians. Now, in the past, you would have found that pedestrians were victims of crime while walking in the very narrow sidewalks, and most of the time the criminals would run into the road and with their belongings, and would make it very difficult for them to chase after them or anything like that, because traffic would be flowing very quickly. But what they've done is to reduce those kind of risks by making the pavements wider, giving pedestrians more room to move around, and while at the same time also reducing the speed on the road. So you'll remember that there were questions around why it is that the road has been surfaced using bricks, pavement bricks, instead of tar or asphalt, as the engineers explained. And they said that this is because it helps with reducing the speed with which vehicles are going to be moving through that area. So it just makes it easier for both motorists and pedestrians to use the road. The taxi driver did also explain that some taxi drivers who said that they were actually happy and content with the new design of the road said that they were happy that, you know, it means that pedestrians are going to be safer, given that in the past pedestrians would be knocked over by some of the taxis while they're trying to cross the road.
And then businesses, I'm sure they're quite relieved that now that stretch of the road is operational. What do they have to say?
Certainly, you know, with the reopening of the road, it means that there's more traffic, there are more people moving there. And this obviously means money, and it's a lifeline for those whose businesses, some of whom have been closed and some of them have been operating. One salon owner spoke to us very briefly, saying she was happy and she was hopeful that this was going to lead to more traffic in her business, and she was also going to be able to make up all the funds that she might have lost, or the profits she might have lost as a result of the work that was being done there. You will remember that, you know, people would avoid that area because the passageways were very small and it was closed off to most of the public and very little traffic. But it is a lifeline to the businesses that operate in that area.
Mbalenhle, thank you very much for joining us. That's SABC News reporter Mthethwa, who was covering the official opening of the Lillian Ngoyi Street, formerly known as Bree Street.